Now, we've had hardworking Americans called Nazis in brown shirts and un-American by Nancy Pelosi. Well, I guess that's what Nancy Pelosi would label my next guest. She also grilled Senator Specter earlier today. Let's look at this.
I am a Republican, but first and foremost, I'm a conservative. I don't believe this is just about health care. It's not about TARP. It's not about left and right. This is about the systematic dismantling of this country. I'm only 35 years old. I have never been interested in politics. You have awakened the sleeping giant. We are tired of this. This is why everybody in this room is so ticked off. I don't want this country turning into Russia, turning into a socialized country.
And joining me now to discuss all of this is the young woman who asked that question, Katy Abram, and her husband, Sam, who also questioned the senator. Guys, welcome to the program. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it.
All right, is it hard, guys, being in the national spotlight?
I said to my husband while you were playing the soundbite, I'm sorry, while you're playing the soundbite of me talking, you know, it's weird hearing yourself like on a home video, but let alone to turn the TV on and see yourself. Today has been a roller coaster. I'm proud of what I said because it's from my heart. But when you start getting phone calls on your cell phone from people that are calling you a racist, it ticks me off. I don't deserve that. I'm just speaking my mind. I went there to talk to Arlen Specter and tell him what I thought. I don't need people calling me and voicing their opinions. They're cowards. They hang up the phone on me.
That's happened a lot today, Katy?
Honestly, that has happened one time, and I'm concerned that it may happen some more. I don't know how they got my cell phone number. I have no idea. But I have to say that I want to thank every single person that I know that has emailed me, that has called me, and has shown their support. I thank them. I really appreciate that because that's more important than any of some of these people that are thinking otherwise.
Tell me why you're upset, though. Is it the call? Is it that, you know, because you said some things in here that really I found fascinating to me. When you use the term, you've awakened the sleeping giant, that you're 35 years old, that you've never been interested in politics really up until recently. Explain that.
I don't know. This is just very overwhelming to me. I didn't expect this reaction. You know, I wanted to go to the town hall meeting. I wanted to voice my opinion. I've contacted Arlen Specter's office before via email, and voiced my opinion that way. And this was finally an opportunity to be able to speak to him, face to face. And now that I've kind of had a chance to kind of digest all of this, it's just been a really long day, to be honest with you. It's been a very long day. I don't know how you and other people do this all the time.
Well, I've been called every name and then some, but this is one of the points I've been trying to make, Katy and Sam. And by the way, Sam, thank you for being here too. But, they're referring to people as Nazis and brown shirts and political terrorists. Katy, you don't look like a mobster to me. I mean, I could give you a mob handle if you like, but you really don't. You're not part of any organized group, right?
No. I mean, we have friends that are like-minded. I was not paid by anybody. I was not bussed in. I'm just a normal person, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Well, I think
I'm on a mission.
She's on a mission? What do you mean by that, Sam?
Well, she wanted to make a difference in her opportunity to see Arlen Specter face to face and share her opinion of what's going on here in the hopes of opening his eyes to it's not AstroTurf. It's not we're not put up to this. We're just common people that are worried about this framework that they're going to put into place. It's going to change how the healthcare industry is going to work. Yeah. It's not something the next administration can just change. Taxes go up, taxes go down. That can change from administration to administration. But with this sweeping change in healthcare, we both thought it was important to be there to let our senator know that we need to put a lot more thought into this before we make this kind of alteration to our life.
Katy, were you happy with the answer that you got from the senator today?
Well, when we got home, I watched the video on YouTube. And I just...
Welcome to my world,
yeah.
kid. It's
Weird. My best friend Karen called me and she said, Katy, you're on YouTube. I'm like, what? That's odd. But, you know, honestly, after I asked the question, I was so just... I don't know. I didn't hear half of what he said, to be honest with you. I mean, I heard him say that he does legislate by the Constitution, but that's a bold-faced lie. I don't know if you realized, after he took the microphone away, I said to him, I said, George Washington is rolling over in his grave right now. This is not what the Constitution wrote. This is not a welfare state. It should not be a welfare state. The people of this country are strong enough to be able to, you know, just do what you need to do. You don't need handouts from the government left and right.
Yeah.
And those of us that have been footing the bill for all these trillions and trillions and trillions, I do not take that word lightly. That is a huge, huge number.
You know, I don't want to interrupt you. I'm listening to your passion, and we've seen this all around the country. And I spoke to you earlier today, and you told me, and I don't know if you're going to be upset that I say this publicly, but you were a Democrat. You voted for Bill Clinton, and then now you're saying you don't want this country turned into Russia or a socialized country. How did you change your political philosophy? What changed you?
Well, you'll get a kick out of this. I don't know if I told you this. I went to school to work in the media, and in college, you know, I believed in abortion. I believed in all that. You know, I hadn't really thought about the things too much. I just kind of went on my merry way, and I didn't have to pay taxes, and no big deal. And yeah, I voted for Clinton. I regret that now. I voted, I think, twice for him. And then I got a job in the media, and I was a photojournalist at the local level, and I loved that job. But I'll tell you what, when I got my first paycheck, I was dumbfounded. I mean, you know, in the media, you don't make much money in the beginning, especially, and to me, it seemed like they took a really huge chunk out of my paycheck. And I decided to switch to the Republican Party, and that was part in doing to my husband. At the time, we were dating, and I don't know. I just, over the past couple months, you know, I've educated myself. I've learned about the founders. I refuse to be fed any of this rhetoric that you hear on a lot of the major news media. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
I've got to say this in closing, and I really wanted you to tell your story tonight. For a couple of mobsters, you're really great Americans, and I think you inspired a lot of people today. And I really appreciate you telling your story and sharing it with us, and having the courage to do what you did today. I think you inspired more people than you can imagine. So, guys, thank you both for being here, and I hope you'll come back.
We will.